Assalamu alaikum. How are you guys? Well, the today video topic is MPD. MPD stands for Music Player Daemon. A daemon is actually a program which runs in background. MPD is a audio player. It is suckless, like it uses very few resources from your system. Well, you need some client to use it as well. A graphical client, a command line client, it might be. So let's install it. I already have installed it in my Arch Linux system. Mpd install some client, ncmpcpp. These the last two are its clients, like to access it. So all of these are already installed in my system. The same thing you can do, just change the package manager name. If you are not using Arch Linux, like you are using Debian or some other distribution, once installed, actually the music player daemon can be executed, can be run in two ways: a system wide installation or as a user. So let's configure it. You can configure it. You can use its configuration file. Let's copy the file: cp user share mpd no doc mpd, and here you can see the example file. So example file, let me it config mpd and mpd conf. I am not going to overwrite it because I already have configured it. So let me show you the command. If you don't have actually once mpd starts, it checks for its configuration file in two paths. If you are running it as a user, it will check the configuration in mpd conf. So else if you are using it system wide, it will check it configuration for mpd conf in the etc directory. So I am using it as a user. So let's configure the mpd conf setting in this configuration file. So a music directory, this one is the directory where you put your music files. So if you don't have this directory, you have to create it. Playlist directory, you also need, if you use playlist with this one, you have to create this directory as well, else things will not work and mpd will give you an error. And the database file, actually mpd saves and the settings and the files in a database, so you have to provide it a database file. It might be in some in any directory. So I have configured it in to save the database file in my config/mpd directory. On the log file, actually I am using the systemd. So you can use this syslog setting. So mpd will log in this way, but you can give it some other file to log its file, might be useful for debugging. Process id, where to save the tmp, its pid file. So I save the pid file in temporary directory state file. So where is it's the state file, like where to store the state file. If you kill the mpd, it will read its previous state from this file. So I am using mpd state file. Inside it, the user config directory. The sticker file, dynamic information attached to the song will be saved here. The where the daemon should listen. Once MPD starts, it will listen for on some address. It might be localhost or your system IP. If you are running it on some server, it might be the IP address of your machine, and then you might need the port. So this is the TCP port. It is the default port. You can define any other port as well. So type of information which is logged. So verbose, if you want to troubleshoot MPD, you can use verbose it, else leave it and default. Once you reboot the system, restore past, once you reboot the system, MPD will check for this setting, and if it is yes, it will play back, and if you give it to no, it will start the playback where you left, no matter how you left it once you rebooted, or the last time it was like killed or something like that. Output buffer to client, save files and a playlist with complete path. Default is no. If you want to save the absolute path in playlist, yes, complete path, not just in it should not start with the music directory we already mentioned. It will give you the complete path to the files. Tag types, the tag metadata which MPD will use for actually clients will use this metadata info. Automatic update of music database. Once you add some new files in your music directory, the auto update option will update. If you do here auto update, and yes, it will auto update the new files. The depth of the directory is being watched. 0 means only watch the music directory. There is no limit by default. So if you have so many directories inside the music directory you already mentioned in the about lines, I already configured it. So if you do it 0, it will be it will only check for the music directory you mentioned. But if you comment it or give it some other value, so if you comment it, it will check for every directory inside your music directory. I want only 3 directories, so I give it the 3. Will follow symbolink. If you are using some symbolink inside your music directory and you want to follow MPD to follow those symlinks, so give type yes here. Same thing here, 0 conf. Like if you want the Avahi or other demons to find the MPD, give it yes. If you don't want it to be discovered, just replace it with no. 0 conf name, from which name it should be discovered with this one will this value will change the how it will be discovered. So replay again, missing PMP. These are some settings but not required. MPD for running. So now configure some plugins. This is curl plugin, useful when you are using it on some server. The actual thing begins here. Like you have to give it some outputs. So this output is actually I am using for HTTP stream. Like if you are using MPD on some server and you want to or some machine in your local network and you want to access the MPD from another machine, like another laptop or from your phone using a web browser. So add this output. This one is the port you want to use when you type in your browser this machine on which the MPD is running. So give its IP and then this port. MPD will use this port for HTTP streams. This one is the audio output. Like if you are using pulse audio, just use this pulse. This one Windows audio, OpenAL, OSX, FIFO. This one is actually like a FIFO for visualizer. So that's it. Let's start it now. I am actually MPD can be start with systemd, systemctl user start MPD service. Now you can see here it is in paused like a paused state. Let's start it. You can use its client like ncmp or mpc. Here you can see it is paused. Well, this one is my ncmp client. I will configure it later in this video. So it is actually in paused state. Let me play it. MPC also will output this way. Like you can see here it is playing, its volume, repeat is off, random off, single off, consume is off. You can change the song MPC next to previous, something like that. You can use its volume, add new songs, pause it or toggle. So if it is already playing, it will toggle pause it, or if it is paused, it will not play the music. So let's configure the you actually have to create those directories I mentioned already. If you don't have these directories, you will not, the MPD will fail. Like the playlist directory should be created if you are going to use playlist. This is the database file. If you are getting some error for the first time you are using MPD, just touch these some files. If you are getting some error about these files, so just use touch and create these files. MPD will use them and use your music files to create these files itself next time it runs. ncmp. Well, I am using another client which you actually have seen in a few minutes ago, like this one, ncmpcpp. This one is very configurable. Let's go to its directory. Here you can see I have so many files. So let's configure it with config. You can copy the example file ncmp. Here you can see the config. Just copy it here. I already have a config file. I'm not going to overwrite it. So config, let's edit it. The user interface, alternative mpd host, the which you have configured in your mpd configuration file. This is the mpd port. So these are the necessary options for this client. This is the directory, mpd music directory, the mpd music directory which you have configured in mpd. Lyrics directory must be created, else you will get it inside your home directory. You should create this. You should actually create this directory and also mention it here, else you will get it inside your home directory, like lyrics. On this one is the how it looks like. All other settings are not necessary. So this one is like I have it actually can be configured to use the key bindings you want. So just bindings, go to bindings. Here you can configure your default keys. So ncmp here you can copy the binding key, user share doc ncmp and binding. Copy it here. I'm not going to override. Is my binding file. Here you can see I run external command. Actually I use my mpd to also show me the album art of the song which is running. So inside the urxvt you can use my cover file script. This one is inside my github repository. You just can use this file and save it inside the ncmpp directory, make it executable, so mpd will use it. So that's it guys. Error log and clear out, these are not necessary file. This is a minimal config file. A very minimal config is here. ncmpcpp config minimal. Here you can see now the interface is changed. This is very minimal file. So that's it guys. I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. mpd actually can be if you are using it as a server, as a user, and you have set up a http stream like I have configured one inside the mpd conf, you can play these music files from your phone or something like that. Let me open my phone, connect it with this computer, and I will show you how you can play these songs from your phone or from another application, another system. Let me use the system IP, check my system IP, the IP of the machine where mpd server is running. The IP is 101, so I am going 101 and the port configured for HTTP stream, and here you can see it was in pulse situation. Let's play it. Let's mute this one and play it from my phone. So now you can see here it is running. Actually my phone volume is slow, so you can't hear it. Let me open its volume. Now you can hear it is playing on my phone. You can play these files which are actually running inside your MPD daemon in your machine or your server. This way you can configure it like on some VPS and then play it from anywhere, or you can use it in use some Raspberry Pi or some old computer inside your home network and then enjoy the music file from any device inside your home network. So that's it guys. I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. If you are new to my channel, please subscribe my channel, share it with friends, press the bell icon so you will not miss the latest videos from me. Well, let's meet in a new video. Thanks for watching. Bye bye.